Good day, students. You are welcome to the music period. Our topic today is naming of lines and spaces of the staff. In our previous lesson, I told you about musical notation, the three musical notation we are using in music: staff, clef, and musical note. Staff consists of 5 parallel lines and 4 spaces. If you can remember, I told you that we are counting the line from down to up, not up to down. So the one under is number 1, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have 2 common musical clef. Treble clef, number 1, which is also known as G clef. Number 2, bass clef, which is also known as F clef. And the musical note I gave you: semi-brief, meaning, crochet, quiver, semi-quiver. But today we are looking at the naming of lines and spaces. The learning objective for today's topic are: at the end of today's lesson, you should be able to identify the 4-7 English alphabet used in music, and naming of treble, lines, and spaces, and naming of bass, lines, and spaces. Now, let's go into the full detail of today's topic. Sit tight and listen very well. Don't allow side talking or side attraction. The naming alphabet includes only the first 7 letters of the English alphabet. We are using the first 7 English alphabet to name the line and spaces, whether treble or bass clef. On the staff, each line or space represents a different letter. The first 7 English alphabet that we are using to name the line and spaces are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. When you get to G, you go back to A. Nothing like I, neither J or K. From A to G, when you get to G, you go back to A. That is the first 7 English alphabet that we are using in music. Now let's take it one by one. Take treble first. Letter name of the treble staff. The treble clef is also known as G clef. You can call it G clef or treble clef, because it indicates that the second line from the bottom will be G. You can see the treble staff there, and the note is on the second line. As I told you before, that we are counting our line from down to up. So line 1, you can see the note lies on line 2. That line 2 indicates G. Now from that line 2, you can now move up to the next. That is from G. After G, I told that to go back to A. So the second space now will be A. The middle line, which is third line, will be B. And the third space will be C. Like that. That is how you are counting. Notice how the clef makes a circle center on the second lines. That second line, the treble clef circle around that second line before it goes up and come down. If you remember how I draw the treble clef for you, I started from second line, draw it round and bring it down. The remainder of the notes on the staff are named by going up and down. As I told you before, the musical alphabet on alternating lines and spaces. The remainder of the notes on the staff are named by going up and down. The musical alphabet on alternating lines and spaces. As I told you, from that G, you can start going up by G after G, A after A, B after B, C after C, D after D, E after E, F, like that. Now, look at how the note lies. You can see the first line of the treble staff is E. The first line, which is the one on the bottom, E. The next space, F. The next line, G. The next space, A. While the middle line, B. The third space, C. The fourth line, D. The fourth space, E. While the last line is F. That is to naming the line and spaces together. Now let's take it one by one, which is we take the lines first. Naming of line of the treble staff. Now the first line is E. You can see the second line G, and the third line, middle line, is B, and the fourth line is D. The fifth line is F. Please, I want you to listen attentively and follow this, because towards the end of this video, you will have classwork to do, and the classwork will be based on what you learn from this video. Now you can see the one in blue color gave you a formula that will help you to remember every time. E stand for every, while G stand for good, while B stand for boy, while D stand for does, while F stands for fine. So it give us every good boy does fine. Everybody say that. Again, every good boy does fine. That acronym can help you to remember every time that you need it. Is very, very important. Every good boy does fine. Let's now go to the space. Name of space on treble staff. You see, the first space, the name of the first space is F, followed by A. The third space is C, while the last space is E. And you can see that is the acronym for this one is very simple, just face. Your face, if you remember face, it will help you that face, the first letter of face is F, followed by A, followed by C, followed by E. So the first space of the treble staff is F, second space A, third space C, and fourth space is E. So it will help you. You can take note and have it in your mind that the treble staff space is face. Now look at the name of lines of bass staff. The first line of the bass staff start from G, followed by B, the middle line D, the fourth line F, while the fifth line A. Just take note that the first line of the bass clef is G. By that time, it can be able to help you to ascend and name it. First line G, second line B, third line D, and fourth line F, while the last line, which is fifth line, is A, the one at the top. Now look at the acronym for this. Is the G stand for great, while the B stand for big, and the D stand for dogs, and the F, that is fourth line, stand for fight, and the last one, which is A, alligators. So it gave you great big dogs fight alligators. Great big dogs fight alligators. I want every one of you to say together. I want to go again. Good. Great big dogs fight alligators. And some people gave the another acronym that good boy does fine always, or good boy drink Fanta always. No different acronym, depend the one that will help you that you can master or time. Now look at the space. The space is there. It's giving you the name of the space in base staff. The first space is A, while the second one is C, and the third is E. The fourth space is G. That is all cow eat grass. All cow eat grass. That is A stand for all. C, the second space stand for cow, while the third space stand for eat, and the last space, which is fourth space, stand for grass. All cow eat grass. Everybody say it together. Again, all cow eat grass. That is how to name the line and spaces of the treble and bass clef. Now, the class work now. The class work. So under each of these of the notes, write its letter names in capital letters. Write its letter name in capital letters. You can see the first one, the second one. This one is treble staff. So you have 9 notes there. You can't, as I told you, the first line on the treble staff start from E. So from that you can ascend and go down. So you are going to write the letter names under each of the notes, 1 to 9. So before we move to the next slide, the question there, you write the letter names of the bass clef, bass staff. You have just 6 names here. The first one, which is number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. You write the letter name under each of the notes. So start now. You have just 5 minutes to do that. As I told you at the beginning of the video, that if you listen very well, the class work, you find it very easy, because all what you are going to do lies on what you listen from the video. Thank you.